silly mirror fun. Deep in the heart of the bustling town fun fair, surrounded by the sweet smell of popcorn and the cheerful sounds of music, lived a very fluffy, very adventurous Pomeranian named Leo. His best friend in the whole wide world was a kind girl named Lily, and today they were ready for an adventure. "What should we do next, Leo?" Lily asked, pointing towards a giant Ferris wheel that seemed to touch the fluffy white clouds. Leo wagged his tail so hard his whole body wiggled with delight. He let out an excited bark, but then his eyes spotted something else, something shimmering and glowing nearby. It was a building shaped like a giant, crooked top hat. A bright sign above the door flashed with all the colors of the rainbow. It read, "The Silly Mirror Funhouse. Come in and see the funniest you've ever seen." Leo tugged on his leash, pulling a curious Lily towards the strange entrance. "You want to go in there, you silly boy?" Lily giggled, letting her furry friend lead the way. A funny clown statue standing by the door seemed to give them a secret wink as they walked past. A blast of cool air and the sound of happy music greeted them as they stepped inside. Wow! They were standing in a long hallway made entirely of mirrors. Bright, colorful lights bounced from wall to wall, making everything sparkle and glow like a magical cave of jewels. "It's like we're standing inside a rainbow, Leo," Lily whispered in amazement, looking at the 1,000 reflections of them. Leo took a careful step forward and bumped his little black nose right on a mirror he thought was an open path. Boop! He shook his head and stared at his reflection. But it wasn't his normal, handsome reflection. The Leo in the mirror was super tall and skinny, like a fluffy noodle. Leo tilted his head to one side, and the tall noodle dog in the mirror tilted its head too. He let out a little yap of complete surprise. Lily couldn't help but giggle beside him. "You look so very funny, Leo," she said, patting his head. "Come on, let's see what the next mirror does." The very next mirror they found made them look the complete opposite way. When Leo stood in front of it, he saw a short, wide, and extra fluffy version of himself looking back. He looked just like a fuzzy pancake with 4 little legs. He waddled from side to side, watching the pancake dog copy him. Lily stood next to him, and her reflection became short and wide, too. They both looked so silly and round. "We look like a pair of bouncy balls," she laughed, bouncing up and down on her toes. Leo barked and jumped with her, enjoying the funny view. This was much more fun than any ride. They turned a corner and found a mirror that was all wavy and wiggly. When Leo looked into it, his reflection wiggled and jiggled like a bowl of jelly. His fluffy tail seemed to be in 3 different places at once, and his ears flopped about in a loopy, swirly, silly dance. Leo decided to play a fun game with the wiggly dog in the mirror. He stuck out his little pink tongue as far as it would go. The wiggly dog stuck out a long, loopy tongue right back at him. Leo was so surprised he tumbled backward with a soft thump on the floor. Lily scooped him up from the floor and gave him a big, warm hug. "That was a very good trick, Leo," she said, still giggling from his tumble. "You're the silliest dog in the whole wide world." She put him down, and he immediately shook his fur, ready for the next silly mirror. The next part of the maze was the most amazing yet. One mirror didn't just show one Leo, or even a funny-shaped Leo. It showed hundreds and hundreds of Leos. Everywhere he looked, a tiny, fluffy Pomeranian was looking right back at him. It was a whole army of Leos. "Look, Leo, you have so many new friends," Lily exclaimed, clapping her hands together with joy. Leo felt very proud and important, being the leader of so many dogs. He puffed out his chest and let out a mighty woof. In the mirror, 100 little dogs all barked right back at him. Now it was Lily's turn to make a funny face. She stood in front of a mirror that made her nose look huge, just like a big red tomato. She crossed her eyes and stuck her fingers in her ears, wiggling them around. Leo barked with laughter at the hilarious sight of his best friend. Inspired by Lily's silly face, Leo tried his funniest face yet. He found a mirror that made his eyes look gigantic and his mouth stretch into a huge, goofy grin. He winked one of his big, funny eyes at the mirror dog. The mirror dog winked right back, looking even funnier than before. They spent what felt like hours lost in the maze, running from one silly mirror to the next. They saw themselves with long, stretchy legs, with big square heads, and even completely upside down. Each new reflection was funnier than the last, and Lily's laughter echoed through the sparkling hallways. In one special mirror, Leo's reflection was a kaleidoscope of beautiful colors. His orange and white fur swirled into amazing patterns of blue, green, and bright pink. He looked like a little piece of walking, barking art. He spun in circles, watching the colors dance and change with his every move. Lily found a mirror that showed her with bright purple hair and a crown made of sparkling, twinkling stars. "I'm a princess, Leo. A mirror princess," she declared, doing a little curtsy for him. Leo wagged his tail in approval. In her reflection, he was her royal knight, brave and fluffy. They were having so much fun making faces and seeing their silly reflections that they didn't realize they had wandered deeper and deeper into the maze. Suddenly, Lily stopped and looked around. Oh, Leo," she said softly. I think we might be a little bit lost." All the paths looked exactly the same, full of flashing lights and endless reflections of themselves. Lily started to feel a little bit worried. But Leo wasn't worried at all. He knew just what to do in a tricky situation. He put his little black nose to the ground and started to sniff. His super sniffer nose could smell the sweet scent of popcorn and candy floss from outside. He sniffed past the noodle dog mirror and the pancake dog mirror. "This way, Lily," he seemed to say with a happy bark, trotting confidently down one of the paths. Lily trusted her furry guide and followed him. Soon, they saw a different kind of light up ahead. It wasn't a flashing, colorful light from inside the maze, but the warm, golden light of the afternoon sun. They could hear the sounds of the fun fair getting louder and louder. They had found the way out. They started to run towards the light. They tumbled out of the crooked top hat building and into the fresh air, blinking in the bright sunshine. They were dizzy from all the spinning and laughing, but they felt so happy and full of joy. Leo shook his fur, which was no longer wiggly or stretched, just perfectly fluffy again. Lily gave Leo a huge, thankful hug. "You're not just the silliest dog, you're also the smartest." That was the best adventure ever. Leo licked her cheek, agreeing completely. They couldn't wait to see what kind of fun they would find next.